Let's talk about shallow friendships, not the obvious kind, the ones where you already know it's surface. I mean, the sneaky kind, the friendships that I want to say they look close, but you still feel lonely inside them. If you have ever thought, hmm, why do I keep attracting people who can't really see me? This is for you. Hi, everyone. My name is Sly, pediatric RN turned writer, and this channel is the video version of my Substack, a soft room for deep feelers, nervous system healing, and real life boundaries. All right, so no long setup today. Let's just dive right in. Again, I'm getting used to being on camera. I stumble over my words sometimes, but I am going to determine to record this video today anyway. It's not always that you're attracting shallow friends. Sometimes you're choosing them. And I know that sounds harsh, but stay with me because it's not self-blame, it's self-awareness, is what I call it. For years, I kept ending up in the same dynamic, but different people, same emptiness, right? And the real question wasn't, why are people shallow? The real question was, why did shallow feel safer than being deeply known? Because if your nervous system learned that closeness leads to rejection, criticism, or abandonment, you will unconsciously choose friendships that keep you safe or unseen. And so today's first lesson is if shallow felt safer than deep, it's because deep required me to exist. So I will say this. Shallow friendships didn't require vulnerability for me. They required me to exist as a full person. So again, I'll say shallow friendships didn't require vulnerability. Oh, that word, I get tongue-tied with that word. They didn't require me to have needs. They didn't require me to risk disappointing anyone. I could be the listener, the strong one, the helpful one, the fun one, and I never had to reveal the parts of me that needed care. So what I used to do is I'd choose friends who didn't ask real questions, and I'd feel relieved when it stayed light because I didn't have to risk being known. And what I do now, I ask myself this question early on. Am I choosing this person because they feel safe or because they feel familiar? Because I'm finding out that familiar isn't always healthy. Sometimes familiar is just old survival skills. Again, familiar is just old survival skills. And I'll go right into lesson number 2. I trained people to keep me at surface level. I trained people to keep me at surface level, excuse me, and then I resented them for it. This one stung, to be honest. I had to learn the hard way. I used to complain that people didn't know me, but I wasn't letting them. So what I'd do is I'd show up and be fully present for everyone else. I'd be asking questions, holding space, checking in. But when it was my turn to share, I'd keep it cute. Just keep it cute, keep it cute, keep it light. I'd deflect. So this is what I used to do, right? I would be like, "How are you?" And they're like, "I'm good. How are you?" I'd say good, even when I wasn't good, even when I was quietly drowning inside. And then if they didn't push deeper, I'd tell myself, see, they don't even care. They don't even care about me. But the truth of the matter was, I didn't really give them anything real to hold, anything tangible. So, what I'm learning to do now is I practice little micro truths, not just trauma dumping, just just truth, just being honest, just being my authentic self. Instead of saying I am good, I'll pause and I'll say, honestly, I've been a little overwhelmed this week. Or I'm okay, but I'm tender. Or I'm managing, but I could use some extra softness right now. Like, I could use a hug. And here's what happens. People with shallow capacity, they get uncomfortable and fade. But people with depth, they lean in because if someone or if nobody ever meets the real you, you'll never know who's really capable of loving the real you, right? You'll never know who's capable of loving the real you. Then we go right into lesson number 3. This is what I used to do too. Wow, I feel sad for myself sometimes. I confused effort with connection. That was a big one. I confused effort with connection. So what I did is I would measure friendship by how hard I worked. Wow. Yeah, it's just dawning on me now that I'm speaking about it. Because if if I was initiating, planning, checking in, remembering details, I told myself I was being a good friend. And I would keep thinking, if I keep showing up, eventually they'll show up too. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Because effort without reciprocity is not connection. That's what I'm finding out now. It's exhaustion. And what I used to do was I would text first, I would plan everything, carry the emotional labor. Wow. Make excuses for their absence. And if they didn't reciprocate, they didn't reciprocate, that word is another word. Getting used to being on camera. I know. I'd try harder. That's what I would do. And I started realizing that I think I was building a friendship by myself. Hmm, I was. Wow. But now what I do is I use what I call the pause test, as I mentioned earlier. I just pause and I stop initiating, let's see, 2 to 3 weeks or so, not to punish, but just to get honesty out of it. Let's see. What happens will tell me the truth. And if the friendship disappears when you stop pushing it, then it was not mutual, right? If I was being kept alive by your effort, now I look for reciprocal energy. And it looks like this for me. Who reaches out? Who checks on me? Who remembers? Who initiates? If I'm the only one building the bridge, well, then guess what's going to happen? Sly is going to stop building and let's see what happens. And most of the time, nothing happens. Going right into lesson number 4 for me. I had to grieve the friendship I wanted them to be. I'll say it again. Lesson 4 is I had to grieve the friendship I wanted them to be. Not just the person, the fantasy. Because sometimes we have those fantasies in our head. Like the version of the friendship where they'd finally ask how I'm doing, the version where they'd notice my silence, the version where, let's say, I'd feel held, not just helpful. I stayed, wow, yeah, I stayed too long because I kept mourning what it could be. But here's the hard truth that I'm learning. Some people are not bad people, they're just not capable. They're not capable for holding space for us. They're not capable of loving us the way we want to be loved. And if you keep begging for low capacity friendships to become high capacity friendships, you'll always be hungry. And that's what I learned. I was always hungry for more. So what I do now, I let people be who they are without making it mean that I'm not enough. Yeah, by making it mean that I'm, yeah, not enough. Wow. All of this is just hitting me as I'm saying it loud because I never spoke it out loud, and speaking it on camera is very different. So I grieve what I wanted. I honor what it was. And I'm thinking that I create quiet distance, but with compassion. That way, I'm able to make room for people who can actually meet me. And I'm finding that to be working pretty well. I've been attracting better quality friends and better people and people who are able to hold more space for me because they have the capacity. So, and quick tool that I use before I let you go is I call this the depth filter. After you interact with someone, these are the questions that you ask yourself. Do I feel more like myself or less like myself after it? Do I feel nourished or used up after my interaction with this person? If I stopped performing, would they still stay? What you'll notice is your body actually answers faster than your brain. Trust it all the time. Your nervous system will always let you know. It's not gonna let you down. It always lets me know. So I've been trying to pay more attention to that. So if you're realizing that you've been surrounded by shallow friendships, breathe. You're not broken. You're not too much. You're just waking up. And when you start choosing depth, it feels unfamiliar at first, but it's even lonely. But it's not only loneliness, it's space clearing. And I hope this helps you. You're able to answer those questions in the comments. And this is a space, it's a video version of my Substack. And I'm grateful that you're here. I hope these lessons help you to cultivate better friendships and deeper friendships. And in 2026, you're getting rid of all the old shallow and surface level friendships. So thank you for being here. I'll drop my Substack in the comments, and I'll drop my first comment in and I'll pin it in the comments where I'll answer like I always do on Substack. And I want you to meet me there, answer, and let me know your thoughts. And thank you again for being here. I will see you tomorrow.